What's up, boys? Welcome to another beautiful edition of the Gary Williams Stole My Lawn Furniture podcast. We got Huckleberry and Death Star up there.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Sorry, everyone bear with me. Getting a cold, so I sound like the white version of Barry White.
Hey, Dustin, how's your weekend going?
Everything's great. Everything's
How come every
awesome.
time we talk to you, you seem so fucking miserable? Why don't you pep up a little bit? Life's good. Life's good in Baltimore sports right now.
It's been a long weekend. We had a little music festival down here in Ocean City, capped off by Dave Matthews last night. Didn't get to enjoy any of the music because I was stuck in the weeds behind the bar all weekend. But the Ravens won. The Orioles hit their over by half a game, so things are going well.
Things are working out.
You look great, though, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You look great, too. It's not very nice to bully your friends.
I didn't notice.
I'm not bullying you. I'm just making fun of you because I enjoy and I know you can take it.
I had a beautiful weekend in, of all places, St. Charles, Missouri. You guys want to hear about that?
Yeah, fire away, man. Go for
Sounds very interesting.
Not really. It's really not. Some of our friends moved to Arkansas and for work. Work moved them there, and they're meeting them halfway to get our kids back together. Stayed in an Airbnb and just picked all right, St. Charles. It's a little community outside of St. Louis, and we were thinking about going to a Cardinals game or something, but they were out of town. But yeah, other than that, it was kind of cool. I texted Chris Merrick. If you don't know who that is, go back and look at some of our podcasts. He's the timeless art of seduction. And I was like, hey, you ever been to this little town, St. Charles? It's right on the Missouri River. It's kind of cool. It reminds you of Annapolis or St. Michael's or Fells Point, like a cobblestone area, Main Street, right on the river. So it's kind of cool. They had an Oktoberfest going on. So got to let the kids run around and jump on some shit and drink big ass steins of beer.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, that's about it. The only thing that really sucked about it was 4-hour drive. Our friend, I guess back to my story, our friend Chris Merrick went to St. Louis University, played baseball there, and finished up his school at Lindenwood, which I didn't know. Still don't know what the hell it is, but apparently it's right there in St. Charles. We passed it. Passed it a bunch of times, and I'm like, you ever been here? He goes, yeah, I actually finished up my schooling at Lindenwood, so kind of a small world. But yeah, it was cool. Brian, what about you? How was the weekend at your establishments, the Chaucer and Pig?
Work was all right. Obviously, the Ravens win helps out a ton. It's been a difficult week for a couple of different reasons, but other than that, work was great. It was nice being around friends, and they were needed.
Yeah, do you want to plug right now what the Chaucer's got going on for the Orioles playoffs, since we're going to dive into the Orioles playoffs a little bit?
Sure. So the Charles is going to run deals throughout the duration of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for the ALDS. Hopefully, we only have AL wild card. Hopefully, we only have to see 2 games instead of 3. But we'll be running specials throughout the duration of the playoffs. Even if the Orioles, hopefully, if the Orioles move on, we will continue the same specials. And those specials are too much to ramble on and write off now because they'll be easily forgotten. But come in, have a good time. Pig and Rooster doing the same thing. We're going to have a great time. And go Birds.
Go Birds, indeed.
What a deal. I wish I was in town. I'd definitely be hitting that up. So
are you guys excited that we match up against Kansas City and we avoid the Skoo Bowl red hot Tigers, or is this just kind of these teams are all good, we just got to show up and handle our business and not worry about who we're playing?
I'm hesitant to even answer your question because last year I said I wanted the Rangers. And obviously that was a very bad statement.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say a damn thing. Just know that I'm happy where we are right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Captain Hindsight's three best friends, right? Coulda, woulda, and shoulda. Wish we wouldn't have played the Rangers, but I saw Ryan Ripken put out the tweet and a couple other people who would you rather face? at this point, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Tell us who we're facing. Let's just prepare. So
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, it's nice that we got a little bit healthier going into the playoffs. We did get some rough news after the podcast last week that G-Rod was going to get shut down. He's not going to be pitching in the playoffs. I don't believe we were able to talk about that on the pod last week. Obviously, big blow. We kind of knew it. Brooks talked about it last week. He wasn't really expecting him to come back. But obviously, we got high hopes. And his injury kind of came out of nowhere roughly a month ago or however long ago. So it's gonna suck not having him. Burns and Eflin pitching game 1 and 2. If there's game 3, we're gonna have some decisions to make, and I hope they've already made those decisions behind closed doors. What do you guys think about that?
We've done a lot of negative talking about the Orioles over the last couple months, and rightfully so. But right now, I feel like the team in the last week has trended upward, and it looks like a beer league softball team in terms of that lineup. I'll take that all day, baby. Now the pitching is still a problem. And I'm talking specifically about the back end. The back end of the bullpen is specifically a problem. But I feel more confident now than I did 3 weeks ago. So I'm ready to rock and roll. And I say like I'm actually going out there and throwing on the bump. But I'm ready to rock and roll, and I think this team is set to move.
Yeah. I mean, we have been negative for how we usually are in terms of talking about the Orioles, and I think it was hard not to be. I still think we are definitely one of the more positive shows in terms of all that going on. Shows / people who talk about the Orioles on Twitter and everything like that. And minus Ryan's always super positive about it on his show as well. But I mean, looking at it, obviously it wasn't going great, right? I mean, we were slumping all at the same time. 3 people weren't in the lineup that usually are. So it was a host of different things, plus like injuries to the pitching staff. Like it was kind of like a culmination of everything at once. And it was something that I've talked about and a couple other people have talked about and we've talked about. Like last year was kind of a storybook. Nothing ever went wrong for us, it felt like, until the playoffs. And this year we're actually facing some adversity. So that was it's good to see us like it was a little bit more adversity than I think we want to see, and a little bit longer of a stretch of a slump than we would want to see, obviously. But the last 10 games, really, we're 7 of the last 10, 5 or last 6, I believe. It's good to see like us finally. We saw like, all right, are we actually going to get out? We saw 1 game here and there. Are we going to get out of it? Are we going to get out of it? And then we have a 10-game stretch. We're like, all right, fuck. Now we're trending in the right direction. Let's go, boys. Even though we're missing a couple people still, but maybe that's something that galvanizes the team and like, let's fucking go, right? I mean, anything can happen. Just get in.
And Dusty, before you comment, I got 2 things. One, we talked about it last week, and I'm animated today because Jordan Westburg, we talked about it last week or maybe 2 weeks ago. Him coming back, you can see the moxie of the team is just absolutely back. He is a nitty-gritty, badass dude, and I want him in an alley with me, okay? And you can see the team kind of changed a little bit. That guy, he reminds me of Flash. Why am I blanking on his name?
Ryan Flaherty.
Ryan Flaherty. The guy just looks at you like, bring it. Here we go. So he reminds me of that. Also, going completely left field, I forgot to mention one thing before we continue down this road. Mark and Amanda got married this weekend. Went to a great wedding. My mother was my date. My mom had a great time. And congratulations to Mark and Amanda. It was an awesome wedding. They had fireworks for about 20 minutes. It was unfreaking believable. Gorgeous wedding down in Chesapeake Beach.
Hell yeah.
But anyway, back to the Orioles.
Yeah. Jordan Westburg, glue guy. Just one of those guys you can plug him right in the middle of the lineup, put him anywhere, put him at second, put him at third. He can play short, obviously. And he plays good defense wherever he goes, and he just gets timely hits, man. For months and months, we talked about how we couldn't get runners over. We couldn't get guys in from third base. He's the guy who consistently does these things. When there's second and third and 2 outs and we're down a couple runs, I feel very confident he's going to get those runs in. He's going to do whatever he can. And his numbers since he came back, look, they're not great. They're not flashy, but he's getting hits in big spots, and that's what matters.
Yeah, and I mean, I got to bring this up too. Like, obviously, like we all saw the struggles with runners in scoring position. We still see it. We're still seeing it. It's getting better. It's trending up, right? Like we were just talking about, the last 10 games are trending up in the right direction. This is something that we wanted to see last year start peaking at the right time. Hopefully, this is what we're doing. It's not like these guys aren't working on it and aren't trying to do it. It's not the approach they're taking to the plate. It's simply that baseball is hard. They were all slumping at the same time, or parts of the lineup are slumping at the same time, or it just felt like we couldn't get a big hit, or we fucking scorch a ball and it's right at somebody. Shit happens. So it's kind of nice to see some luck starting to bounce our way again in some of this stuff, and getting some of these fucking bloop singles to fall in now. And to add on what you said about Westy coming back, how about Silent J right now? Since we got Joe Radke, he's an Arkansas fan. He's a Razorback fan, so I got to give Silent J a shout out, because he is fucking. I mean, Christ, is he going to be the one that puts us over the hump right now? Could be. I mean, it's hard to say. Hard to say, but
how about not so Silent J, James McCann, kicking ass lately, dude. Over his last 7 games, he's got 3 homers. He's been really hitting the ball well over his last 15, which for him is probably about a month. He doesn't really play every day. I wouldn't be surprised to see him get a couple starts in these playoffs.
Well,
you mentioned that a couple weeks ago.
He's got to start the the Burns game, because
game one.
They've got the comfort. Exactly. I just think I don't think you can not do that. I'd rather have the comfort of him behind the plate and Adley just DHing and go that route than the other way around. And McCann, another Razorback from what for Joe. So we're loving on the Razorbacks today.
Dude, Joe, man, he's crushing Arkansas right here, man.
Arkansas. Well, I
know Arkansas people hate Arkansas.
Arkansas, well, not Joe crushing Arkansas. Arkansas is fucking crushing it for us right now, really. So, to add off what you said, Dustin, on the starters, there was a lot of stuff on Twitter here the last day or so that they were still talking about who the Game 2 starter is going to be. I don't know if they've officially announced it yet, and everyone's like, yeah, it's obviously fucking Eflin. But then the contrary is like, all right, are they overthinking this and trying to have Eflin be the Game 3 in case there's a Game 3? Be that guy. I agree, but that was the other side of the coin that I'm thinking that's the only thing that they're thinking about, or they're actually looking at numbers and matchups. I really don't know. I don't know why it wouldn't be Burns Eflin, but that's the only thing I'm racking my brain thinking. So
you got a little you guys want to give a little preview on the Kansas City Royals? What do we think about Bobby Witt coming into Baltimore? I know Brian is a big Bobby Witt fan, and he's terrified of that human being.
I am so scared. My dick is just me talking about him made me scared.
Yeah.
I just want to qualify. Yeah. I am a heterosexual man, but good God, I am so nervous.
Yeah, I mean, they got a pretty good lineup. I mean, they've really done a good job of turning themselves around, but they're really the strength of their team all year is that their starting rotation is incredibly consistent. I think all 5 of their guys who started the most games for them all had under 4 ERAs well into September. I don't know if that's the case now, but Reagan's, Seth Lugo has been very good for them this year. I mean, they've got definitely a lot of good starting pitchers. I think our top end is probably a little bit better with Burns and Eflin as opposed to Reagan's and an older Seth Lugo, but look, it's a 3-game series. Anything can happen. I'm getting flashbacks to that 2014 Royals series where they were just hitting bloopers over our heads left and right.
Oh,
Terrence Moore was pinch running all over the freaking place.
I felt like they ran all over us, man.
Yeah, they did.
My college baseball coach used to always tell me this. You can always tell how the season's going to go or the game's going to go by the first batter of the game. And that Kansas City Royals series in 2014, wherever the hell it was, they hit a bloop over second base or shortstop. And I'm like, shit.
Yeah, I think it was Lorenzo Kane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, another reason why maybe it's McCann behind the plate, since it seems like there's been a little bit of struggle with Adley behind there throwing out base runners, and with Burnsy holding base runners. I know he's been working on it, but it still hasn't been great. So we'll see. You don't gotta hold runners on if you don't let them on. So
That's true. Yeah. Look, I think Nick made a good point when he responded earlier to that Joe Racky comment. Losing game one would be heartbreaking. Yeah, that's why it's huge. You get Corbin Burns in there. You let him go out there and shove in game one, and he can hopefully get that game one monkey off our back. That just get that playoff win, because this team still hasn't done it. And really, I think that would really settle down the nerves of the team. I don't know, man. I'm so excited. Other than the stuff we've talked about, you have anything else, Brooks, before we transition?
Yeah, we're gonna try to do a preview show for the Kansas City Royals, either whether that be later on tonight or sometime tomorrow. We'll keep you posted on that and put something on social media. Also, just looked up Royals starting pitching for the 2024 season. They are number 2 in ERA this year behind the Seattle Mariners. That is nuts. Let's see what the relievers are.
Yeah,
I think what their bullpen looks like.
I think that we're gonna have to really try to get to their bullpen, and we're really gonna have to make sure Bobby Witt and Salvador Perez do not kill us, because I think outside of them, I think their lineup is a little bit vulnerable. I think we have the advantage lineup wise.
Someone get Nick's comment off the screen, because it's pissing me off. It's just pissing me off. And he's not wrong. He's not wrong. It's just pissing me off.
I don't need that bad juju.
I'll put that one on the screen.
Don't need the bad juju. Get the bad juju out of here. But Royals number 2 overall ERA for their starters for 2024. Their bullpen is number 20 in ERA.
Get to the pen, baby. Take some pitches, work some counts, get to the pen.
And the Kansas City Royals podcast is saying the exact same thing about our team.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're 23rd. We're 23rd in reliever ERA right now.
Yeah.
See what our starters are. I probably should have just said that at the same time. Orioles are number 5. That's actually a little bit better than I thought. I knew we were probably going to be top 10. I didn't think we'd be 5th, but just with Burnsy and fucking Suarez, man, Christ. So. Like I said, we're going to try to do a full-on show on this. We just wanted to bring it up because we're baseball guys here, so we're excited about postseason. Second time in 27 years. This is the first time we've had 90-plus wins in 2 straight seasons. I think I saw somebody post since the 83 season or something like that. So pretty fucking cool for everybody bitching and complaining about the Orioles. Think about that. That's pretty cool. We're
guilty as charged. We are as guilty as charged.
Like I said, we've been more negative than we usually are, just because of the slump and some of the injuries. So it's kind of hard to stay positive. But I still think we're probably one of the more positive podcasts and everything on the air and talking on Twitter. So, but yeah, let's fucking go, baby. So
first, Nick says first back-to-back playoff appearances of his lifetime. Joe Radke says 1981 and 82 were the last 2 times we won 90 in 2 straight years. So thank you, Joe, for that.
We didn't win 90 games in the 83 season. That's a fun fact.
I don't know.
Boston Orioles 1983 win.
They won. They won 98 games.
Okay. 98 and 64. 82 was 94 and 68. 81 was 59 and 46. So the 82-83 season.
Yeah, 82-83. There you go.
And then 84.
Missed it by a year.
85 and 84. 85 wins in 84. That was a weird comment. So
excited for playoff baseball. Really excited for the potential of going deeper into the playoffs, and also obviously not to look past the series, but the winner of this series will be matching up with the New York Yankees.
And look, I want to say something now, and I hope I'm not knock on wood. We just match up well with the Yanks. We just do. And
Well,
you know how much I shit
yeah.
on Aaron Boone all the time.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up actually.
Yeah, I know. If I were all friends, man.
Yeah.
But I just, if we win this series, I like the matchup. I just really enjoy it. You got to watch out for the number 2 and number 3 hitter, and you got to watch out for Garrett Cole. And that's really what it. In fact, I think Heel might be the better pitcher at the moment than Garrett Cole.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
the other night.
he got slapped around the other day, and we've been following that closely because quite a few of us have Colton Cowser Rookie of the Year bets, and Luis Gil is the guy who is potentially going to take that award away from him.
That's always money, man. It's always money.
Look, I mean, for the Yankees, it's going to be tough because they remember they lost Nestor Cortez. It looks like he's got some elbow stuff going on. That's not good this time of year. So it's Garrett Cole and Luis Gil and Carlos Rodon, and I don't know. I don't really love that starting rotation either. But look, we're facing the Royals. We got to make sure we get past that series before we start thinking about the matchup versus the Yankees. Although it's hard not to imagine because it would be very fun to play them.
Because I mean, I feel like the last time we lost to the Royals, we looked past the Royals, and then they ended up winning the fucking World Series. So
smoking us now. Something that's very intriguing to me about the Yankees and Nestor Cortez, and I heard this actually when we were coming back from the bachelor party. Drew and I were riding back, listening to like MLB Network baseball, like radio show, whatever the hell it is. And they were talking about how Nestor Cortez got pushed to the bullpen because a couple guys came off the IL, and Nestor Cortez was very upset about it. And then because it messed up his routine, because all you pitchers are babies, so it messed up his routine. Now he has an issue with his arm because he's now in a different role. He's firing up, he's unfiring, he's firing up, he's unfiring in the bullpen, as opposed to just knowing when you're going to start. That's going to cost him a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's the first strife.
I do want to look this up. Is he going to be pitching? Because I know he was out for the rest of the season, but I don't know if somebody said if they were saying that he's going to be out for the playoffs too.
Elbow flexor strain, which I don't like any of those words in that.
No. Anything elbow oriented or shoulder oriented, see it.
And to piggyback off what you said about that, Stroman was fucking pissed about moving to the bullpen too. And then he made that spot start against us and got lit up. And
apparently Cortez said something to Aaron. This is per what we heard on the radio, so I don't want to like act like I know anything. I'm not in the dugout. What we heard was that Cortez was like, "I ate a bullet for you down like previously, and now you're gonna basically give Stroman my spot because he's paid more or something." That's a shame.
Interesting.
That's a shame, by the way.
According to Greg Joyce on Twitter, who I think is a Yankees guy, Nestor Cortez, this is 4 days ago, will be shut down for 7 to 10 days. He will likely get the PRP shot, which we heard Kyle Bradish get that same shot earlier this season before making his return a little bit late. They said the ligament is intact, but their MRIs are being sent to doctors for additional opinions. I would not be, if I'm a Yankees fan, I would not be expecting Nestor Cortez to be pitching in October.
No, I just can't see it. Last thing before we move on, because I know we want to do a whole show on this, even though we're on this for a bit right now. I saw somebody on Twitter, and I mistakenly said something to him, and then I thought about it. I'm like, oh shit, I screwed that up. We could have a whole host of revenge series throughout this entire podcast with the Royals. Then we could potentially, then we definitely have the Yanks if we win the Royals, and then we could potentially have Cleveland in the ALCS, and then obviously Phillies or whoever we end up facing. There's a couple of teams that we could have a revenge from 40 fucking years ago, but it could be a lot of really the most recent stuff would be all the AL stuff leading up to the World Series from 97 on. So
I-
that's kind of cool.
I do like that the first 3 games we're playing, maybe hopefully just 2 of them are all 4 or 4:30 games. I like that we're going to be playing some day games. I don't know if that matters at all, but I'm thinking the Delman Young double game, and it was bright as shit out, and that's all I can think. Good vibes.
Man, I might have to make a sneaky
It's the only
trip
time I
back.
ever thought I broke a bone in my body. I was in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, doing work for General Dynamics at the time, and I saw Delman Young hit that double. And I was in a Residence Inn, and I slammed my hands down on the table. And I remember, because I was drinking, because I was so nervous about the game, I could feel the pain in my hands. I'm like, if I'm drunk and my hands hurt this bad, I probably broke both my hands.
Speaking of, I'm getting a beer.
While Brooks is doing that, we're going to transition into football. Obviously, it is playoff baseball time. We're going to be talking about the Orioles a ton, but we can't ignore what happened last night on Sunday Night Football between the Ravens and the Buffalo Bills. I was not able to watch the game live. I was getting absolutely murdered behind the bar with all the concert goers in Ocean City, but I have watched the highlights. I've watched quite a bit of sports NFL talk this morning.
Dusty, stop. Is Brooks wearing sliding shorts right now in his own house?
Probably.
No, I just worked out. Also,
Anyway,
look at this basic bitch beer right here. Got my pumpkin
I can't tell
ale.
what it is. Pumpkin
Got
ale.
my pumpkin ale.
Oh
That's
my
tasty.
god!
It is tasty.
It's not even October yet, dude. You gotta wait another day.
Tomorrow. Less than 24 hours, but it's pretty good. It's by Elysian.
It's a good brewery. Good job.
So yeah, 35-10, Ravens over Bills. Derrick Henry has an 87-yard touchdown to start the offensive the game for the offense. You guys got to watch the game live. I did not. What'd you see? What did I miss? Is there anything the highlights aren't showing me? Looks like Derrick Henry, Justice Hill, and the run game just kind of dominated.
Yeah, let's all eat our words right now. Well, and give massive props to the O-line. Hell yeah. I mean, last week was good, was obviously good and better, but we were like, okay, Dallas's run defense sucks, right?
Yeah.
Yesterday they did it again. Blocking from offensive line to the receivers to the tight ends, like everybody's on the same page. It looked phenomenal. Really the only real critique I can think, like Lamar lost a fumble. There was something else, and I can't remember. I had it. I was like thinking about it this morning. There was one other critique I had where I was like, all right, that's really the only things I can find right now. But all in all, that was a pretty complete game against a team that a lot of people thought were the best team in the league, or playing the best in the league right now, and completely came out and dominated, held our fucking lead the entire time. Got a little shaky there in the third quarter, where you thought maybe it was going to start, momentum was going to start going the other way. Gave up one touchdown to Josh Allen's the leading odds right now for MVP for the way he's played the first 3 weeks. I know it's only been 4 weeks, but still, I mean, the guy was hot. Defense showed up. Other than that, I mean, super impressed from what I can think of off the top of my head right here.
Best player on the field was Patrick Ricard.
Yeah,
I'm being dead serious. I know Derrick Henry ran for 199 yards. I understand that. He doesn't run for 199 yards without a 311-pound man running right in front of him with a sack of meat, a wet sack of meat just running right in front of him.
You're so eloquent when you talk about Patrick Ricard.
My delivery is fucking fantastic. Drop yourself, dickhead.
Yeah, I think I got to echo what Brooks said. I didn't get to watch the game live, but based on everything I'm watching, everything I'm hearing is that the offensive line really stepped up. Justice Hill, 6 catches for 78 yards. Mark Andrews can't get one catch. I mean, he hasn't had a catch in 2 weeks, but it doesn't matter when we're running the ball like this. We got Bateman, Flowers, and Andrews combining for 2 catches for 30 yards. I mean, if you'd have told me that before the game, I would have said we're going to get our asses kicked, and it just didn't matter. I mean, they just were just able to move the ball, and hopefully the offensive line continues to improve. I mean, we got the Bengals next week, and the Bengals are 26th in the league in run defense, just above the Cowboys.
I mean, and Joe Burrow looks like Malibu's most wanted. I mean, he looks fantastic. He looks like Eminem, you know,
it's like B-Rad.
B-Rad. I'm trying to pull up this video. Basically, Patrick Ricard was on the Sunday night show last night with Tony Dungy, and was like, brought up the fact that he came to the Ravens as a defensive lineman and kind of played both ways the first 3 years before transitioning full-time into fullback. And Tony Dungy was like, holy shit, are you serious? Like, completely taken aback by it. I gotta find that. Real quick.
Can you imagine being in the hole and you see Patrick Ricard coming at you, and then behind him is a 255-pound man running with a football? I would be so terrified.
Who was running away from 24-year-old corners and safeties trying to chase him down. He hit 21 miles an hour. 21 miles an hour.
That was more telling to me than anything when I was watching like that. I mean, obviously it was our first offensive play of the game, and he straight up, like, he broke through that line. It's like, all right, I kind of thought he was going to get caught, right? I mean, he's a big dude. He's getting older. Dude, what they could not catch him. Could not fucking catch him. I'm like, this dude's supposed to be washed up and losing his step right now.
Nick, I know you're watching. What do you think about Brooks's buttons on his shirt? Can we talk about that for a minute?
My buttons on my shirt. I don't know. Ask Under Armour. It's just a fucking thing they put on there. I don't know.
What is going on here?
Brian.
You look like one of those people who does like mocap for
like, what are you going jazzercising later or something?
Motion capture, when they put the black suit on you and
yeah. I was like, what are you talking about? Fair. I'll wear that one.
Good day for the Ravens standing in the division in the AFC North as well, with the Steelers losing to the Colts yesterday. Joe Flacco helping us out by beating the Steelers again. I didn't get to watch, like I said, didn't really get to watch much of the game. Did you guys pay attention to that at all? Obviously, we'll go back to the Ravens, but
yes. You know. And so I'm gonna transition into that's a shame, because this is part of my that's a shame.
Fair enough.
One, Joe Flacco had a phenomenal response to a question after the game. How Anthony Richardson's mom is 8 days older than him.
Yeah, and I saw somebody also tweeted, Joe Flacco is now one with the current Ravens, the former Ravens, and the old Baltimore team that left town.
Yeah.
And then my that's a shame is the Indianapolis Colts. And I'm going to explain. Anthony Richardson went out with a hip flexor injury.
Hip pointer, yeah.
He comes back in the game. I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice because I'm sick, but he comes back in the game, and the first play call is a designed quarterback run.
Yeah.
The fuck are you doing?
Yeah. That was interesting. Whether it was a design run or a read and he kept it. I mean, maybe just not and just hand the fucking ball off for a couple plays. Let him feel it out in real time. I thought, because then he took like a weird little hit and it was kind of up towards the head a little bit. And I'm like, all right, is he going out with like concussion stuff right now? Does he have to go in like protocol and go in the blue tent and everything like that? But no, they took him right back to the locker room and then said he's not coming back with the hip stuff. I'm like, that was just an odd series of events, really.
That is mismanagement to its finest. I mean, I'm sorry, that's your franchise player. You need to know how to manage that man. And look, he is a young man who has already said on multiple platforms that he wants to run the football. He's Andrew Luck, and I hate to say it because he's on the same team that Andrew Luck played for. He runs the ball directly like Andrew Luck did and doesn't care about taking hits, but he's more important. Go down. You're more important than a 4-yard run.
Yeah, and it kind of feels like going, I don't know, like they should have won that game pretty easily because even with Flacco in there, like the Steelers just aren't moving the ball really, and why you're going to sit there and do a designed run with him against one of the best defenses in the league right now? What are we doing? I just don't get it.
My that's a shame is Patrick Mahomes for we talked about this before the before the pod started. Patrick Mahomes, blatant disrespect for his offensive weapons, just going right at his best receiver's kneecaps and tearing his ACL. Yeah, I don't really have anything. I didn't get to watch the games yesterday, so this is what I got. Patrick Mahomes accidentally tore Rashee Rice's ACL. That's a shame.
Florida State, you just got smoked by SMU. Just take inventory.
Florida, they this weekend was. Oh shit!
The beautiful ACC matchup of Florida State versus SMU. Also, I love the ACC matchup of Stanford versus Clemson. That makes total sense.
Does Stanford play SMU on the Atlantic coast somewhere?
The All Coast Conference, baby.
Yeah.
Man.
Wow, they were preseason number 8. They suck.
Yeah.
They're 1-4.
Yeah, they beat Cal 14-9.
Interesting.
They lost to Boston College, who just lost to Western Kentucky by 20 this week. The Hilltoppers.
Yeah, I guess before we go further into college football, going back to the Ravens real quick, it felt like our offense with like it looked like Monken finally like has figured it out. It's like, oh, this is gonna be fun. Now it feels like everyone's kind of on the same page everything we said before the season with Ricard and Henry coming at you, like nobody wants to see that. And then if you do see that, everyone's got to fucking commit to get it down, to get him down and get to him. And then Lamar can just pull it and be the hardest guy to bring down in the league with the ball in his hand. Like it's a video game. Like it's almost unstoppable when it's clicking the right way. And it seemed like yesterday Monken was like in his bag and was like, oh, this is too fucking easy. And then once you do that and you do a play action, you got open receivers. So it's just like every time I think about it, and we didn't give up the lead in the second half yesterday. It was like I was trying to use this on our thumbnail today for the show. It's like Adam Sandler when he catches the ball in dodgeball. It's like, oh, now you're all in big, big trouble.
If this works out, is the Rashad Bateman contract one of the best contracts we've ever made?
I mean, it is a super team-friendly deal. I love it. I mean, I love that it takes the pressure off of him. He doesn't have to be looked at as that number one option as a wideout. I think he probably could have gotten more money elsewhere, but I'm excited about his potential, and I'm excited about the potential that we don't really have to throw the ball to win. And I think that's really the way the league is trending. I think if we can play decent defense, I think we're going to be able to run it. Derrick Henry has 480 rushing yards, which is the most in the NFL. Lamar has 308, which is the 9th most in the NFL. So we have 2 of the top 10 rushers in the NFL. One of them is our quarterback. They have 788 combined rushing yards between the 2 of them, and we played 4 games. I'm loving it.
On that note, can we talk about Jaden Daniels?
Oh, yeah, dude. Let's talk about him.
Dude.
He's pretty good at football.
Dog.
Shout out. Yeah. Way to go, our friends down on the southern end of our state. They looks like they got a guy.
They got a dude.
I'm looking at this stat that SportsCenter put up last night. Highest completion percentage through first 4 games in their careers ever. Jaden Daniels is number 1 with minimum, and this is a minimum of 75 attempts. Number 2 is Tom Brady. So we're talking about a guy who's putting up record numbers in his first couple starts. And I don't really think he particularly played very well in the first start, even though he was able to run. But the last 2 games have been absolutely nuts.
They kind of had the leash on him a little bit in the first game. It felt like.
Yeah.
Like I think he played well in terms of what he was given.
I mean, totally understandable. You'd have a leash on the guy or a rookie on the first start, but I mean, this dude is coming into his own. I mean, that pass he had last week, where he just stared down a defender and then threw a dime. I mean, that was a bold ass play, and then just to come out again today and yesterday and do what he did, awesome.
And from Brett Coleman on Twitter, Underdog Sports, I believe, 13 dropbacks under pressure yesterday for Jayden Daniels. He was 10 out of 10 for 96 yards and a touchdown. Under pressure. That's good. Is that good?
There was a stat where, I mean, I know it's been 4 games, right? But like he's putting up like nobody's put up these kind of numbers in terms of like the completion percentage or something like that.
Yeah.
Over a certain amount of games besides prime Drew Brees.
It's Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, highest completion percentage in a 4-game span. This is not for rookies. This is just for anybody. 2007 Tom Brady, which is the crazy Randy Moss year. They went 18-1. And then 2008 Peyton Manning. Jayden Daniels beats both of their completion percentages. Both of those guys won MVPs in those seasons. So we're looking at a guy who's like, I mean, he's crazy. He's crazy. I got to watch just the highlights. Like I said, I didn't get to watch the game, but
their defense isn't that good. I'm sorry, their defense, which I thought would be the strength of their team, is not good.
Yeah,
I didn't think we'd see another rookie season like CJ Stroud's last year for a long time. And I mean, I know again 4 games, but this is kind of unbelievable so far. So.
Yeah. It really looks like him and Terry McLaurin are. He really looks like him and Terry McLaurin are really getting the chemistry together too, which is good for Scary Terry because he's had a plethora of terrible quarterbacks. That guy.
I mean, they're definitely
Brooks. We'll go around the league. Brooks, what game do you want to talk about first? Or you want to talk about?
My big thing, since you just did that's shame with Rashee Rice. If you didn't see this play, I mean, this is a crazy play. Crazy freak play. So I'm going to pull this up real quick so we can all watch it if I can. I always have trouble with this stuff.
By the way,
Brooks pulls this up. Did you just see this new report that the SEC and the Big Ten are looking to partner their schedules?
No. Where'd that pop up?
We're getting mega conferences soon.
So they want to. I'm trying to read on the fly here. They're going to have an in-person meeting in Nashville, and they want to basically just conjoin the 2 schedules. Because a lot of these teams, they schedule their shit. In the previous regime, they schedule it like 7 years in advance. So it seems like they might be doing something a little bit different.
Yeah, and if they cancel any of those games, they have to like have a huge payout for the school or whatever.
Yeah.
If they don't end up playing them. All right, I'm just gonna share.
Because chancellors and athletic directors, including the 2 SEC and Big Ten commissioners, are all going to meet in Nashville.
Interesting. When is that? You said
it does not have a date.
Gotcha.
It wouldn't start until 2026.
Brooks, the full screen doesn't work.
Damn it.
But yeah, you can look up the hit. I mean, if you can't see it on here, hopefully you'll be able to see it. But
what is this?
Yeah, Mahomes throws.
So this is the play.
Yeah.
See it right here?
Oh no!
Mahomes throws a pick. He tries to make a play on the ball. Rashee Rice is right behind the guy. The guy gets out of the way, and Mahomes just runs straight into the knee of Rashee Rice.
I gotta get that off my screen. I gotta stop watching that. That's like Clinton Portis. That's like the Clinton Portis injury. But yeah, that's just a freak play, man. That sucks for Rashee Rice. I mean, obviously
it was Willis McGahee.
Had a yeah. Sorry, you're right. You're right. Shit off season. We talked a lot of shit on him, but I mean, I'm still not wishing injuries on people.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So
Um,
maybe stay out of Dallas though. Don't go back to Dallas for a little bit. Maybe stay in Kansas City for the rehab. Don't get yourself in trouble.
Yeah.
Just a thought. Just a thought.
Going back before we go further around the league, we haven't talked about Kyle Van Noy.
I was
He's
going to
got
bring that up.
5 or 6 sacks in the last 3 games. Had a strip sack last night. I think he's second to only Aiden Hutch. He's 6 sacks. He's second to only Aiden Hutchinson in sacks this season. A guy we just signed off the street. A guy we signed off the street last year. Crazy.
Two in the last 3 games. That might be the best contract in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, Christ. So talk about finding the fountain of youth. And he's dropping back and covering some people too. He's not just doing strictly pass rush stuff like he was last year. I saw him drop back and cover over the middle a little bit. Pretty freaking cool.
I mean, yeah, Brooks, you win on this one. That is a great contract. And like, I'm gonna expound on this. If the Falcons happen to have a downturn, I don't know if it's the Falcons, but whoever Calais Campbell plays for right now, if they have a downturn, I could see the Ravens trading for him again.
Miami.
Is he Miami? If they have a downturn, I could see him coming in and just solidifying, even as a backup role. Not only is he a good human being, he's a mountain of a human being. So he can just block stuff.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I like him in the club. I don't know if we even need it. Like with Pierce, I mean, Pierce is a stud up there at nose. And then with Travis Jones putting on the show that he – so I know you guys didn't watch a ton of it because you guys were working, but Pierce didn't play yesterday due to injury, and Travis Jones got the start, even though he always plays a ton. He was fucking everywhere last night.
Yeah, him and Matabike next to each other on the inside is fun.
I felt like I saw him in the backfield chasing Allen on like every other play. It felt like.
I remember when we took him out of UConn, it was like a 3rd or 4th round pick. And I remember Kuiper or McShay or one of the draft guys was just like, this guy is so good. This is like the perfect team to draft him, give him like 1 or 2 years of development in that system. And he's going to be unbelievable. And they were right. They said the same thing about Matabike. I think we got him in the 4th round out of A&M.
And Nick, you're right. I mean, like I just saw your comment, Nick, like you're absolutely right. We have a weird way of finding great D linemen in the 3rd, 4th, 5th rounds.
Yeah. Are they both from A&M, you said?
No, Travis Jones went to UConn.
Yeah, he went to UConn.
Noted football powerhouse, UConn.
I know.
Now, that being said,
how does Travis Jones, like how does some of these guys that we find, like Judon, how do we find some of these guys at these fucking colleges sometimes? And it's like, man, I would have taken like the second dude for Joe Radke, Arkansas over any UConn like defensive lineman, and thought they would have been better. Like, how are we finding guys at UConn? And where did Judon go? I know he went to
like Mississippi Valley State or something like that.
Grand
Valley State. Yeah. Man.
Oh no! Apparently, our Northeast scouts kick ass, man. I mean, he's gonna be a GM at some point or another.
I can't wait until this year's 4th round when we take Tommy Thompson out of Mississauga State, and he's going to be a stud in 3 years.
at a Lindenwood University.
Yeah. A couple of things I wanted to note. Jaden Daniels is now minus 120 to win the Offensive Rookie of the Year. He is the clear favorite over Malik Neighbors, who's number 2, who just got concussed yesterday. And Derrick Henry has jumped from, I believe, 20-1 last week to 5-1, only trailing Saquon Barkley in the Offensive Player of the Year odds. Obviously, early in the season so far, but really cool to see those names.
It was good to see. It was good. Also, I forgot to bring this up. It was good to see like us actually doing some play action with Henry in the backfield and throwing it to him on screens instead of like, okay, if he's in the game, he's probably getting the ball. If Justice Hill is in the game, it's probably either going to be a screen or we're passing of some sort. So he had, I don't know how many receptions last night, but I mean, they threw him a couple screens and stuff that ended up being phenomenal.
He scored on one of them. Yeah, one of his touchdowns was a screen that he scored on.
And back to Ricard, thank God for that guy recovering that fumble in the end zone, because that I just had flashbacks to the Chiefs game or I know we did it a couple times last year, 2 years ago, where we fumbled in out of the back of the end zone and turned the ball over. I think it was 2 years ago. We did that like twice, 2 or 3 times, and it was just like, man, how does this only happen to us right now?
Hey, let me ask you boys a question. And I heard everything you just said, Brooksy, and that was good stuff. If we needed to make an improvement via trade, and I'm not trying to go hypothetical, where would you see? I don't want to get into players' names. Where would you see us needing to upgrade? And I believe it's O-line.
Punter.
Okay, Dusty
/ holder.
Where would you see? So you think punter, and I think O-line. Where would you see us, Brooksy, thinking about like where we might need to make a little bit of a change?
I mean, I just like you. I told you guys at the beginning of this, we needed to give our props to the offensive line for putting ourselves in check. That we were told that it was going to be a learning process and we were going to have some struggles, and obviously we did. But the last 2 weeks have been phenomenal, so props to them. Yeah. I just don't think you can have enough offensive linemen. I think inevitably somebody will probably get hurt. I knock on wood, I hope not. But with all the rumors and like the whisperings of like Devontae Adams getting traded, I could 100% see us going after him. I really could.
See you.
I really could.
I'm gonna fight you all day on that one.
I'm not saying it's the right move, but I'm just saying I could see us going after that, like we did Derrick Henry last year, and it got shut down. Because I'm sure a lot of people last year were probably like, nah, we're good. We don't need to bring that contract in and everything like that. And what are we going to have to give up for him? And I don't know what we'd have to give up for Devontae Adams. But I could see us going after him. I don't know how many years are left on his contract either. So that's just a flyer I just threw out.
I like the team. I think what Nick said about Henry and Lamar, their chemistry is getting a little bit better in that read option game. I think the offensive line, like we just said, is improving. I really like our guys. I don't think we need to make a big splash move. If you're going to go get anything, I think depth in the secondary is always big. I feel like we always have guys go down in our secondary. Marcus Williams has been pretty injury prone. So has Marlon Humphrey over the last few years. So if you wanted to get some depth in the secondary, I think that would be a good thing to target for this season. But as far as top of the line starters go, yeah, would it be nice to have Quentin Nelson on the offensive line? That would be really cool, but he's not going anywhere. Like
especially if they're in the playoff picture.
Exactly. Like it's just I don't think we're going to be making a big splash move really anywhere, but like I think it would be mostly depth.
It's going to be injury dependent, I feel like. As most teams that are going to be in the playoff run, it's probably going to be injury dependent. But again, I think you make a good point. I think you can always have more depth in the secondary, and I think that's been one of the talking points for a lot of the Ravens and football guys in general. Oh, good call by Nick Vogt here. This is something that we forgot that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's hurt.
Yeah, Brian, this happened last week before this game, and I think it happened like end of last week. So obviously he wasn't going to play this weekend. I don't think he did, at least.
He didn't. No,
I completely forgot about this, and I'm glad, Nick. Good call bringing this up. Completely forgot about that. That was a off the wall signing. I didn't know he was a free agent.
Great job.
Yeah. So.
I mean, this is Yannick Ngakoue. Obviously, we're talking about a former Terp, also a former Raven. But a guy who had a really hot start to his career.
A lackluster Ravens season with us, too. I think everybody was thinking he was going to be phenomenal coming in. And then when he left, we were all like, maybe we just didn't use him the right way either. So,
yeah. He in his first 5 or 6 years, he was between Jacksonville. He went to Minnesota for a year, had 8, 12, 9.5, 8 sacks. And then he came to the Ravens for a year and only had 3. Went to the Raiders after that, had 10 more sacks. Went to the Colts after that, had 9.5 more sacks. Had a down year with Chicago last year, but can't believe he wasn't on a roster somewhere. I mean, this guy just puts up 8 to 10 sacks.
Yeah, I wonder if he got hurt in the off season or something, and he was still recovering. That's the only thing I can really think of. Yeah, that's it'd be cool. You said he went to Indianapolis, right?
Yeah, a couple years ago. Last year he was in Chicago.
Yeah. I mean, this could be, like you said, I mean, throw him in there with Van Noy right now, who's rejuvenated his career, and he was never really known, like, yeah, he was a pass rusher, but that wasn't like his thing. And now it feels like he's like, that's just become his thing now. Him and Matabike and Travis Jones up the middle, and then throw him in there just as
and then you got Oweh and Ojabo, who are still pretty young outside rushers. They can learn from these veteran guys. I like the signing, and it's the thing we were just talking about. Depth is important anywhere if one of those guys gets hurt. Ojabo and Oweh playing their faces off. Yeah, Oweh's playing really good. He's been a little inconsistent his first few seasons, I would say, but definitely looking a lot better this year.
Yeah, Oweh's in a contract year too.
Also, a couple of players that popped when I was watching the highlights were Kyle Hamilton. He just looks so big and fast. It just doesn't like our defense in the highlights. Our defense just looked a lot bigger, especially our defensive front. And Kyle Hamilton, it just seems like he can come down from the second level and make a hit on a screen if we really need to. I think there was a little like 3rd and 1 where we needed to get off the field. They threw a little like flat out to Dawson Knox or Dalton Kincaid, and Hamilton came in and just stymied him. Really cool to see. Yeah,
I'm trying to think of a couple of things that happened around the league yesterday that I'm forgetting right now. Sam Darnold and the Vikings went in.
Sammy.
Yeah, he went in and completely. I mean, for all I know, it wasn't like a huge like they dominated that game. There was at no point that I didn't think the Vikings were not going to win that game. Seems like the Saints are coming back down to earth with that Younghoe Koo walk-off field goal. Baker Mayfield with another huge day.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. What happened in that game? I didn't get to watch much of it, but I looked up, and we had a ton of Eagles fans in the bar. And I looked up, and it was 21-0 Bucks. I was like, what the hell is going on right now?
Dude, there was a couple minutes left in the first half, and the Eagles did not have a single like offensive yard. It was like 192-0. I got to find there's a screen grab. Eagles, Bucks offensive numbers.
Go ahead, Brooks.
Yeah, and the screen grab is of like how much time was left to. You can go ahead though. Find it.
I mean, I don't know what to think about this Eagles team. I don't know what to think about this Tampa team. I think that the whole NFC South is, we've said it multiple times, is just weird. I do want to shout out the Saints though, because that line was 2.5 and they lost by 2. So good teams win, great teams cover. But yeah, I think if you're an Eagles fan, you got to be a little bit worried. I think the offense is all kinds of out of sorts. I don't think Kellen Moore. I said before the season, after they hired him, I said I don't think he's a very good offensive coordinator. I didn't think he was very good in Dallas. I didn't think he was very good in San Diego or LA or wherever they were playing at that point. Yeah. And I don't really know why he continues to get jobs. I loved him as a player at Boise State, but I just don't believe in him as an OC.
Yeah, we offensive yards. God damn it! Where's the screen grab at? Regardless, it was like 192 or something like that to 0, and it was just a ridiculous stat. And you're sitting there like, if I'm an Eagles fan, like that felt like the old like Flacco Ravens, where like there were certain games where we just got off to like a horrendous start in the first half where we barely put up any yards and we're just getting smoked, and somehow found a way to keep it close in the end. Yeah. It just, I had like flashbacks to that, but Yeah, I agree with you. Kellen Moore is getting roasted right now, as he should, especially with Saquon doing what he's doing, and you can't figure out a way to make that offense roll.
I mean,
I know the Bucks have a good defense, but
they're missing. Let's give them a little bit of benefit of the doubt. They're missing their best 2 receivers in Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. So that's tough when your number one option is Jahan Dotson, who just got traded to your team less than 2 months ago. So that makes it tough. But look, between Saquon and Jalen Hurts and Dallas Goedert and the other guys, you still have enough talent on offense and a very good offensive line. I know they lost Lane Johnson, which would be huge. Hopefully that's not for a long time. I think he didn't play yesterday either, so maybe that's a part of it too. But
No,
definitely not a very positive start for the Eagles. Brian, you got anything on that one?
No, I really don't. I mean, the one thing is Lane Johnson is such a great player, but he is just consistently. He's got like hernias. He's got abdominal issues. There's always
he plays
an issue
through a lot of shit too,
and he's been through a lot of stuff. And he even played really hurt. I mean, during that Super Bowl season that they won.
Yeah,
he's such a great player, but it almost feels like this might be the time for him to just kind of like sack up and just and retire, kind of like what Jason Kelce did. That's his decision. Obviously, none of ours.
Yeah. What about? I know this has been a point of contention that we've talked about here too, just because we need to do a recap of our scorecard from this weekend as well to see where that's at. For games. And I just saw this pop up on my screen when I pulled up the results from yesterday. Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson. Where are we at with him? They lost 24-20 yesterday and still didn't look particularly that great to the Texans.
Nope. Not very much improvement going on with Trevor Lawrence, which is why they hired Doug Peterson, right? To help the quarterback get better. They're 0-4, and they haven't looked good. They got absolutely manhandled by Buffalo last week. I don't think they're a legitimate threat. I think they could get frisky and maybe steal a couple games from some decent teams later in the year.
They will.
But I don't think Doug Peterson's making it past this season. I don't know if he'll make it through this season.
I don't think he's making it past week 8. And
if they don't,
whenever their bye week is, I don't know when their bye week is. I don't know. I'm not without looking it up. I don't think he makes it past. That owner, Shad Khan, 1, appreciates Doug Peterson, but 2, has dumped a lot of money into a new facility. And I'm not talking about the stadium. I'm talking about the training facility and their headquarters. You can't start going downward when the owner flat out comes out and says, this is the best team we've ever had. And everything is the fire.
That guy wants to win too. The owner, Shad Khan, he's trying to do everything he can. Like whatever you need down there, it seems like he'll give it to you. Like go. I mean, they overpaid Christian Kirk. I mean, did they overpay him or not? Who knows, right? But from all intents and purposes, from what we saw and what we thought, we're like, yeah, this seems like an overpay for an average receiver.
And their next 2 weeks, I think, are in London.
Let's see.
2 weeks in a row.
I have it pulled up here. They got Jags and Colts next week. Where are they playing? Doesn't say where they're playing on here. TIAA Bank Field. Is that their home field? Yeah, that's Jacksonville. So they're in Jacksonville next week.
Okay. I think they have back-to-back weeks in London. I'm pretty confident on that one.
We do have Vikings Jets at 9:30 next week. I believe that would probably be a London game. I'll look into the schedule later in the season and try to figure out what you're talking about.
I think you're right though, Brian. I feel like there is a team, or maybe it is Jacksonville, that does have a weird back-to-back week there or something.
Jacksonville does play in London in week 6, and they also play in London in week 7. So not next week, but starts in 2 weeks. Yeah, they play. They play 2 straight games in London.
Aaron Rodgers should probably stay over in London and hang out because he can probably talk more bullshit than he does already. Because obviously he can't fucking throw the goddamn football anymore.
What happened in that game yesterday? What happened in that game yesterday? They lost that game, right?
I mean, what happened? Nothing happened in that game at all.
Bo Nix threw 12 passes for 60 yards, and they won the game. And Aaron Rodgers is on the other sideline. Are you fucking fisting me?
what was it? 9-7 was the game. What was the final of that game?
10-9. I'm looking at the box score now.
Yeah.
10-9 is the final.
Yeah, it was
fumble. Here's how it started: fumble, punt, 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 fumble, field goal.
Yeah, it was a. I mean, I know Denver's defense has kind of been unbelievable this year, but Aaron Rodgers should not be. I don't care that the weather was bad. Aaron Rodgers should not be putting up 9 points, and they lost because their Zerline missed a kick to win the game, but it shouldn't have been close.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna spout off. This guy's always got to be the smartest motherfucker in the goddamn room. He's always so smart. You gave up 10 points and lost. You had a quarterback throw for 60 fucking yards on 12 passes. He was 12 for 25. And you want to go around and just go sit in a dark room? Have fun, buddy. Enjoy.
How much of this goes on Saleh too? That guy's look at his record as a head coach. Not
mismanagement. Great bald head. Phenomenal. What? Mismanagement.
Is one of our top picks for coaching fights. If we're gonna do a battle royale, would be one of our top picks.
Yeah.
Can't trust him as a head coach.
Yeah, him or Campbell or
his own quarterback. You should fight his own quarterback. You should punch him in the face, knock his fucking beard off.
I don't know why you hate him so much.
Feisty today, baby.
All right, let's
transition.
Yeah, let's get
into.
I
want to do our one thing that since we're playing the Bengals next week, Bengals got their first win against the Panthers yesterday in the Red Rocket revenge game.
Yeah.
34-24. Still, I mean, I know they put up 34 points. I still don't think they look that great, to be honest with you, in my opinion. But I feel like next week, with us being 2-2, they're now 1-3. We need to win that game, or else we're going to have them just sticking around to the end of the year in the picture to try to get into the playoffs. It's either we beat them next week and they're out of their misery, or they're going to stick around to the end and have a shot until the end.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how I feel about the game.
Yeah, I mean,
and we'll do a preview on Thursday probably, but yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. We'll probably talk. I'm not going to be able to do much this week, but we might be able to talk one more time. Or you guys are going to just have to do it without me for a week or whatever. But yeah, I think, like you said, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think this is one of those games where we win this game, we win in a statement fashion, we go to 3-2, and we take the Bengals to 1-4. I think they're pretty much cooked for all intents and purposes. They would have to win, I think, probably 9 of their last 12 or 13 games, which is a very tall order for a team who doesn't have a very good defense, for a team who has a quarterback who's clearly not a 100%, and a lot of contract disputes, a lot of stuff going on there. So
I got stepped on yesterday by his offensive line too.
Yeah,
they lost Trey Hendrickson yesterday too. He didn't come back in the game, which is one of their better defensive players. So their defense is already, like I said, they're 26th against the run. They just allowed 110 yards to Chuba Hubbard and the Panthers on the ground. I'm salivating at the thought of Derrick Henry and Lamar just running up and down the field on them.
You would think. But we always find a way to keep it close with them. That's for sure.
I'm not going to go week to week. I'm not going to go week to week. All I'm going to say is it seems like it's trending upward. And that's all I'm going to do. And just like we say about the Orioles, I'm not going to go week to week, week to week, week to week. Forget that. Both teams are trending up.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah.
And if they lose next week, okay, that's fine. But they're still trending upward.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess we got to bring it up again. Since they are the defending 2-time champs. Chiefs win 17-10. Obviously not in convincing fashion. This was a close game the entire way against a beat-up Chargers team that has like 15 or 18 people on their injury report or not playing. And Herbert played yesterday, and obviously not 100%. The guy was gimping around the field yesterday. So, I mean, I know they're 4-0. I'm not convinced yet.
I mean, they're a couple plays from being 1-3 or 0. I mean, like they're just Chiefsing. They're winning these games that if you make the smallest little mistake, they'll take advantage of it. But Brooks, you
Thank God for their defense.
I mean, the Chargers were missing Derwin James and Joey Bosa, who were their two best players on defense. They were missing their left and right tackle, Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt, who are two of the better tackles in the league. And Justin Herbert was playing hurt, and they still kept themselves in the game. I don't know if that's more of a credit to Jim Harbaugh and his coaching staff and how they run that organization, or if it's a problem in Kansas City. But Kansas City's not going to be able to win games like this forever. Are they?
No.
Or can they? Because the Patriots did it for 20 years.
I still think that they can figure it the fuck out, their offense here in the next couple of weeks. But I mean, right now they don't look great.
And it's not going to get any better. Rashee Rice was their best weapon on offense by a mile.
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, the NFL reminds me a lot of Major League Baseball right now. Like, there's no dominant team. There is just it's complete parity all over the place.
Yeah, Greg Roman. I mean, the only thing that the Chargers really could do yesterday was run the ball with Gus Edwards and Dobbins. And they probably just took the air out of the ball, if I had to guess, because I didn't watch that game terribly closely. That's the only thing I can think of, is that they tried to just take the air out of the ball. I'm like, all right, let's just shorten this game up and just try to keep matriculating and play the field position. But I mean, again, yeah, I think they can figure it out by the playoffs. Yes, it's a slow start. They can always figure it out. They have enough talent on that team. Xavier Worthy could now step up into a role. Like, we'll see. Kareem Hunt had a pretty good day yesterday. That was his first game back with the Chiefs. He could end up being a surprise guy. We'll see.
Guys, can we take in how bright Brian Eater's shirt is that he's walking away right now?
He doesn't want anybody to miss him.
He looks like a traffic cone.
All right, now let's do our picks to see what the scoreboard looks like. We were all 0-2 after last Thursday's games, and we all thought we were all on a couple of these picks from yesterday. So we'll see how that fared. All right.
Yeah. So all of us had the Cowboys over the Giants -5.5. The Cowboys won by 5. They did not cover that spread, so we are 0-3 collectively there. Going into the Sunday day games, Brooks and Brian hit the Falcons on the -1.5 because they lost by 2. Although I did bet on the Saints and got them at 2.5 and won that bet, so I will take that. I am 0-4. This is no good.
This is not good. This is not good.
Bengals won and covered against the Panthers. We all got that right. That was a team play. We all took the Rams at the Bears. This was a classic trap game. The Bears won this game. That is a L for all of us. Vikings at Packers. Me and Brooks had the Vikings. Brian, you had the Packers. We get the win there. Brooks and I. Jags at Texans. Texans were 6.5. Brian and I took Houston, and Brooks took the Jags. The Jags did cover in this game, according to this line, although they are 0-4. Brian took the Colts. Me and Brooks took the Steelers. Another trap game. The Colts ended up winning this game as underdogs, so Brian gets the win there. We do not.
That was the one I wanted to change. I was like, I should change my pick here. I don't like that.
Broncos at Jets. Brian and I picked the Broncos. They were getting 7.5. They won the game outright. Brooks picked the Jets, and he got the L.
60 passing yards. 60 passing yards, Aaron Rodgers. Suck it.
Eagles at Buccaneers. The Buccaneers were getting 2.5 at home. I took the Bucks. You guys both took the Eagles. I will take the win there. The Bucks won that game outright. Brooks and I took the Cardinals against the Commanders, thinking that the Commanders would have a little bit of a step back, but it looks like Jaden Daniels is him. So Brian gets the win there. He's the only one who took DC. Patriots at Niners. All of us took the Pats plus the points, and all of us were wrong. The Niners controlled that game, and they won it handily, seemingly, on the scoreboard. Didn't get to watch a whole lot of that, but will educate myself throughout the week on what happened in every game. Browns at Raiders. All of us picked the Raiders. Or no, that's not true. Brooks and I
Brian
picked the
picked the
Raiders. Brian picked the Browns, and he was wrong. Wow, these two teams stink at football, and I don't want to watch either of them play.
Well, this was the game where we're like, yeah, nobody wants to watch this game.
Nobody wants to watch that game. All of us took the Chargers +8, and all of us hit. They lost by 7 points, so they did cover. Both of you guys took the Ravens. I took Buffalo. I was wrong. You were right. And then we got two more games.
You're looking. I am not very.
Yeah. And we got two more games tonight, so we'll tally everything up and get a graphic out or keep a tally. But I don't want to do it until after the Monday night games go off. Just because I don't really feel like doing all that math in my head real quick.
I do because this might influence how I pick here. Because I might need to go against you guys to get back like even with you.
You want to pick next week now, or you want to do it?
No, for Monday night games. For the Monday night game. Oh no, we already picked the Monday night games.
We already picked them. That's what I'm saying. Well, it's we'll wait till those go through, and then we'll get a tally once they're all done.
That's right. That's right.
Brian and I have the Dolphins. You have the Titans. Brian and I have the Lions. You have the Seahawks. So you were contrarian.
I'm going against you anyway.
You're going against me and Brian.
You guys like the doubleheader Monday night games?
No.
I don't think they're necessary. I think they're weird.
It's a change from the norm, so I understand. Like we all hate change, but I kind of dig it.
I don't like them bleeding into each other. If I could watch one game and go to the next one.
For me, if one game sucks, I can go to the other one.
That's a good point. That's a good point. It's only the first 3 weeks. I think this is the last one, I believe.
They're doing it 3 weeks. They did it last week. They're doing it this week, and then I want to say it's week 7. Without looking at the schedule. So
that's weird.
Gotcha.
They're gonna skip and then do it again. Yeah, we're gonna get into our snake draft now, I believe. Our snake draft this week will be best mascots. Do we have results from last week's draft, Brooks?
I do. We have me 6, Dusty 3, Brian 2, and the other one is Dusty 4, me 3, and Brian 2.
So Brooks wins.
There was a couple people that voted on the actual post, so let me tally those in. View results. Looks like 2 for me and 2 for Brian. So Brian has 6 total. Dustin, how many did you end up with? You had 4 and
3, 7.
Oh shit! Man, we've had the same order the last 3 weeks, I
think. Brooks keeps winning, Brian keeps coming in last, and I'm just here.
Yeah, you guys suck. All right.
You need to. We need to
watch. You suck.
We
need to get that tally out as well.
Yeah, too much math. Yeah. So our snake draft today will be best mascots. We're gonna do all sports, including college. We did have a talk before this. We're gonna allow live living mascots. For example, UGA. So yeah, Brooks, you have the number 1 pick. Who's the best mascot in sports?
Number 1 overall pick's got to be the Philly Fanatic.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong there. I think that's probably got to be the right answer. With number 2, I'm gonna go with Mr. Met. Love that baseball head.
Give me the Oriole bird.
Look at you, pandering.
And then I'm going off the cuff, the Stanford tree.
Fuck you, dude. I wanted to get the Stanford tree. The ugliest mascot in the history of ever. Oh, man. Can we pull up a picture of the Stanford tree? It's so fucking stupid looking.
Yeah, we can. Stanford tree mascot.
While he's looking that up, I'll pick my number 2 pick was gonna be the Stanford Tree, but now it can't be. I'm gonna go with Otto the Orange from Syracuse. It's just an orange.
I didn't know the name was Otto until
I didn't until today either.
Yesterday.
Oh, not a video file.
All right, who's up? Look at this thing.
Yeah, look at this thing.
Here's the
If you're
Christmas
watching
version.
along with us,
Here's a
if you're watching
Christmas
along
version.
with us, this is the Stanford Tree. This is the mascot of Stanford. It's amazing.
Oh, I guess this is all the different ones.
It
For
looks
those
like
of you,
It looks like an old Greg fever dream.
this is ridiculous. Absolutely, this is kind of cool though. Give me the cartoon tree. I like the cartoon tree.
If you're following along, if you're listening along and not watching along, just Google
Look up
Stanford
Google
Tree
Stanford
mascot
Tree.
and just look at the first page of Google, and you will definitely have a chuckle.
This guy looks like he's high. Look at his eyeballs. He's got red eyeballs.
And
Like,
the thing is, Stanford
He is
is
red.
the Cardinal. They're the
I know.
Cardinal. It's their name.
Yeah,
what does
but
the tree have to do with it?
The Cardinal is named after a tree.
Okay, all right.
I don't know. I've always been so Stanford's team
Yeah.
name is It's
the
very
mascots in
bizarre.
general, like so for example, like Auburn Tigers and their rally cry is War Eagle.
Yeah.
The Roll Tide, right, is an elephant.
Yeah.
There's some weird college ones.
Yeah.
Brooks, you get 2 straight here.
Yeah.
I took Otto the Orange from Syracuse.
Let me get back.
They should strike up a deal with Orange Julius, Syracuse, shouldn't they?
Yeah, really.
Where are Orange Julius is now? Because there's no malls anymore.
Oh, fun.
Go to probably connected to any
Probably
Dairy Queen on a road trip.
I mean, the world wouldn't still rotate without Annie Ann's, and they're all in airports.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I did not know this. Have you guys seen the Miami Heat's mascot? Bernie?
Miami.
I thought you were going to say it was P. Diddy or something. I have no idea.
Yeah, this is my pick.
Bernie? Spelled like
Yeah.
Glenn Bernie, by the way.
Spelled like Glenn Bernie. Let me share my screen again. Did not know this. This came in my extensive research here seconds ago. This has got to be my pick. This is incredible. Look at Bernie. What is this thing?
That's a
Look at
dude.
Bernie.
Pull up that picture of him getting a left hook from Conor McGregor right there.
That's a dude who knows how to get down, man.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Yep, that's that's one of them. And shit, let me get back to my page here. And give me the give me Gritty. Oh no, I can't do two Phillies. Give me the Habs mascot.
What's his name?
Youpie? Like you as
You're
in
gonna pick
you.
something you don't even know the damn name of the freaking mascot.
I don't, but I'm doing this. These are awesome, dude. Look. All right, I'm doing it again. Check this out. Youpie. Look at this guy.
He's got people in moon boots.
I love it. I don't know what this guy is. I know that. Is this a Hab?
He's
I
got
don't
an
know.
exclamation point in his name.
I know.
Okay, Youpie going in the 3rd spot. This is such a weird. This is going to turn into such a weird draft. already
It's so
has.
weird.
All right, I'm going to get back on track here. Give me the Oregon Duck.
Good call.
Oh yeah.
Cool. All right, I got 2 back-to-backers. I'm going Testudo.
Yeah, I'll
Gary
tell you
Williams
what,
on my Long
pandering,
Furniture
really.
podcast. We got to take the turf, man. And I'm
I
going
love
to take Bernie. I'm going to take Bernie the Brewer.
Oh, that's a good
That's
one.
a
I
good
forgot
call.
about him.
Good call.
Yeah. I forgot about him. Okay, so I get another pick here. Give me the Pirate Parrot. Always thought that was a cool mascot.
That was
That's a good one. That's a great one.
Yeah. That was definitely going to be one of mine. Give me old Red Legs from the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah,
I love
good
it.
call. That was
I
my
love
last
the
pick. Damn
Love
it.
the mustache.
Damn it.
It's like basically Mr. Bo with a baseball. If you
Mr.
can't
Met
picture,
with the
if
fake
you want to try
mustache
to,
on.
if you want to try to picture that, and give me the Presidents down there and down there at Nats Park. They're hysterical.
Oh yeah.
Good call. Is it me to end it?
Yeah. No, it's
Dusty.
me.
Oh shit! I found one that I really wish I would.
Okay, I got to give me the Florida Gator. It's a classic.
Okay. Oh, last pick.
You gonna take Poe?
No. Look, I love dogs. I'm going Ugga. I gotta go Ugga, man. I gotta go Georgia Bulldog, man.
Okay.
And I'm not even a Georgia fan, but I just love doggies.
Oh man, their first half this weekend was brutal against Bama. That game I did get to watch a little bit of.
My honorable mentions. I can't believe we didn't take Gritty.
Yeah. Well, I almost did.
Slapshot for the Cats.
Yeah.
Sparty from Michigan State. The West Virginia Mountaineer. The Montgomery Biscuit is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And the Burlington Sock Puppet, which is a human sock walking around.
Yeah, maybe we do best logos here soon. That'd be a good one.
Yeah, that'd be a cool one.
Like Montgomery Biscuit's definitely in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only other one I had was the Kansas Jayhawk. I always thought that was a cool mascot.
Rock Hog Jayhawk.
I
think Slider for the Guardians is cool. I like Dinger for the Rockies.
The Green Monster.
Wally.
Wally.
Yeah.
Wally.
Don't the Mariners have like a moose inexplicably?
Yeah. For some reason they have a moose.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Phoenix Suns just have a freaking gorilla. It's just his name's Go.
It's so random.
His name's Go? G-O?
Yeah.
That's a name.
That makes total sense.
I like Jacksonville's Jaguar, Jackson DeVille.
Yeah.
Coming down.
He was wearing a Speedo a couple years ago and sitting behind the goalposts.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, that's been another episode of Gary Williams Stole My Lawn Furniture. The Orioles are playing postseason baseball tomorrow at 4:00 as we record this, so that makes all of us happy. The Ravens beat the Bills last night. That makes all of us happy. I
got two things real quick.
Go ahead.
One, I would say the same thing every time. My favorite part about this podcast is I get to talk to my friends, and mental health is very important to me and to a lot of my friends as well. So I love you guys. I appreciate you very much. Second one is this is the birthday of Mr. Jesse McCusick. We are doing Sloppy Jesse's. There's Sloppy Joe's at both Pig and Rooster in Charleston today in honor of Mr. Jesse McCusick's birthday. He passed away, unfortunately. So love you guys so much. I appreciate you, and thank you for allowing us to do this. All you guys watching.
Yeah, and we'd appreciate it if you would subscribe. Be one of our Huckleberries, join our membership, and keep an eye out for some future cool stuff coming out, and some collabs coming out. So I think we got some cool stuff on the horizon here. Nothing that we can officially announce yet, but just keep an eye out for it. So, and appreciate you guys tagging us and stuff, wearing our gear. That's been really cool to see.
Yeah.
So, and if you guys are interested, we got hats left. We'll have some more merch coming up here soon. Ryan just got some stickers for a golf tournament, and some koozies are on the way. I'm trying to think of what else we got going on. Well, hopefully we'll be together here soon. Maybe we can do a podcast. I'm hoping we can get together before the Orioles are out of the playoffs, but we'll see. We'll see if the stars align. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Go Birds.
Hey, boys,
Go O's.
take care. Brooksy, I'm going to call you a little bit later. Okay, buddy?
Sounds good, guys.
See you guys. Be good.
Yeah, boy.
See you guys.
Love you.